To be here. It's simply completely unique. There is nothing else like it on the planet. It's all about humans. It's human stories. They're completely alone. They can't bring family, friends. There is no outside assistance. Everything that moves their boat through the water is because of the skipper. It's a completely unscripted adventure. No one knows exactly what's going to happen.
McIntyre Golden Globe, around the world from the south to north, December 6, 26. Yay!
Well, good everybody. I just got to shut that down, get rid of that one. And g'day, we're back. It took a little bit of a while. I think my computer's melted in the sun. And we've got Ertan here, so I'm going to bring him in straight away. Here he comes, 2, 3, 1. Hello, Ertan.
Hello,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
That's good. Keep the volume up. So that was a drama. We've been going for half an hour nearly, 20 minutes trying to get this system up. You'll see my office is trashed because we're now actually officially working in the office in Les Sables d'Olonne at the Vendée Marina, but we had to come home to do this one here. Long story, and it's very hot, and I think my computer just died, so we lost audio, and we're having trouble. But Jane just set it all up again. Anyway, we're now here with Ertan, and I've got my cool shirt on because it's bloody hot. I've got the fan over here. Where are you, Ertan, and how hot is it?
I'm in Bournemouth at the moment, and I think it's around 30 C at the moment.
33, that's all right. I don't know what it got.
Sorry, 30 degrees, 30 centigrade.
30? Oh, that's quite cool.
Yes,
Jeepers. We must have been about 36, 37 or something. I don't know. Anyway, so good to be chatting. I think a lot of people that are watching this will actually know you because you've been around for a while. Yes. You entered the 2018 edition, okay, and it was a bit of a rush back then. I think you bought the boat about a year before or something.
I bought it for Christmas, 6 months. Well, I bought it for Christmas, and
yeah.
And the race started in July, I remember, in 2018.
Okay, so quickly you then did a refit, you got in the race, and you lasted an absolute just a week.
Yes.
Because you missed the comms, the communication. Then you entered again in 22, same boat, same story, but you got down to Cape Town this time, and we'll get into it in a minute. Yes. And then everything was going fine, but you happily retired into Cape Town, declared your GGR thing was done, right? And you had a great time and you worked it out. Then you bought my little TREKKA, the Globe 580, and you just sailed solo around the world non-stop, not non-stop, with stops.
Yes.
In, I don't know, the 13 months or something. That's an epic. We'll get into that. And now you've entered the race again. So let's go. I think everyone will concede that you're a bit crazy and you have to be to do this sort of stuff. Yes, you are. So let's go right back to the beginning, where you were born and your schooling. How were you a good student at school, and what things were you doing? What was your first interest? What were you into? Were you into cars or motorbikes or boats or what?
I was always fascinated with water, the sea. So at a very young age, I had a fiberglass boat. It was very new, 50 odd years ago, a fiberglass boat. So I had a fiberglass boat, and I was always fascinated with sea. But in 1979, I moved to United Kingdom, and I continued my love of the sea from South Coast, and obviously having a job and a business, my sailing adventures only lasted week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Sail somewhere in France, leave the boat, come do some work, go back there, and so on. But the truly proper sailing started after I stopped work, where I could go sailing without any time limit. And and that's been, I don't know, since 2018, really. I mean, 2018, I still was very involved with work, so I had a lot of things going on. Now this is my fourth event with you. Nobody wants me at work anymore, so I am fully released. Apart from making the tea at work these days, there is really not much else I can do at work these days. So I am a bit more relaxed about doing these events now.
Yeah. Okay. So were you a good boy at school? And what did your parents do? What did your parents do?
My father was also a self-employed person. He built factories and bridges, and he was a very successful civil engineer. Had a very successful company. And my mother was housewife, kept everything together. So.
And brothers and sisters?
Just one sister. She lives in California, in Los Angeles, and we get to see her a lot. And she will come to the start of the race as well, and with one of my nieces, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing her. It's funny, if I just spoke to her, she's just arrived in Istanbul. With my mother. So.
Okay. So do you remember the moment when you, in 2018, so you started the race, going across the Biscay, and you decided, nah, it's not me. Do you remember that moment? Can you try and describe it?
Of course. I mean, it was because when I started this event, I really didn't know anything, and those 6 months taught me a great deal about preparing a boat and meeting all these people in Les Abdelon, and watch them and learned a great deal. So when I did stop, I was already very well educated how to do it the next time. And all these things in any business in life, the best way of learning is experiencing it, and then do it again and do it better next time. And 2022 was certainly was much better. And I guess if I hadn't seen Cape Town coastline and the town centre, I probably would have continued on to Hobart. And this time we don't have to stop in Cape Town, so at least I'll make it to Hobart for sure.
And then you have to sail home anyway. Okay,
well,
so
Arzu will be there, and she probably say to me, you must continue, and I'll continue. If she says you must, we'll see what happens.
That's okay.
I'm only looking at tomorrow right now.
Okay, but I think you brushed over the second retirement a bit too quickly, because you sailed down the Atlantic, and it was pretty. I mean, it was still emotional and it was a little bit traumatic. The boat had a few issues, but you actually sailed through those problems. You sorted out the boat, and by the time you got to Cape Town, the boat's looking pretty okay.
Yeah, I had no problems at all.
Yeah, and so, okay, try and explain that moment. You decided again, well, okay, I think I'm going to Cape Town at the last minute.
The day before, I checked my stores, I checked my water. I had more than enough of everything. My boat was in really good shape. I had no problems at all, and really I had no intention of stopping in Cape Town. And then I saw you guys, and then I saw the coastline, and I saw people, and then I suddenly decided I want to go and call them and speak to them, and that was it for me. Everything happened there and then.
Yeah. Okay. And so, the day after you stop, the next morning you wake up and you're out of the GGR. What are you thinking?
Well, I never regretted it. Really, entirely. I was on the whole very happy about the whole thing, and as you know, we had the Tapio issue during that time, and really I was very, very happy indeed that I actually made the stop, and then soon after. Tapio's rescue, I went back home, and then the life continues. I soon forgot about the whole thing and just decided that I'll do something else, and obviously the MGR was in the view, and MGR was an entirely different thing altogether, of course, because we were. Always in touch with one another, with the outside world. So that was a different thing altogether. And then during the MGR, I obviously thought about the GGR all the time. And in fact, I told all my close friends that I want to do the GGR, but obviously I have to finish the MGR first.
Okay, well, hang on. You're rushing too far ahead. I want to go back again. And one thing I'll say is when you retired from the GGR the second time in Cape Town. Jane and I were pretty happy because we thought, well, that's cool, like you've done it, you've got a feel for it, you've worked out, got rid of that goal and you were happy, and so we were happy and said, okay, that happens, that's fine. And so, were you thinking about the MGR a little bit during the GGR in that second one?
No, I wasn't. I mean, when after Cape Town, there was 4 years to go to GGR, and that's a long time, and I had to do something in between to some new adventure during the next 4 years, because it certainly doesn't take 4 years to get ready for a Golden Globe. I mean, you can get ready in a year, no problem, if you want, when I bought a boat, or even 6 months, if you've got good facilities.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on, I'm going to interrupt you because I don't want you to rush ahead. So do you remember the moment when you thought, what the hell, I think I'll do the MGR? What was the attraction there?
Well, attraction was that, first of all, it was one of your events, which is always fun. And the boat was available, which was your boat, which is a very historical boat, number one hull. And when I saw we were in Spain with Arzu in Alicante, I said, and we were at the airport, I think, I said, oh, I'd like to do this. And Arzu said, oh, go for it. And I immediately got on the telephone, and because you just advertised the TREKKA on Facebook, and then I immediately called you and said, can I have the boat? You said yes, and that was the beginning of the engine.
Okay.
The whole process took literally minutes.
Minutes, totally doily. Okay, I've never asked you that. Anyway, you ripped me off with the boat. I should never have let you have it, but that's another story. That was a joke. Anyway, okay, so then I think everyone knows the MGR. For those that don't, it was little Globe 580s, 19-foot plywood and glass epoxy boats designed for it, but stopovers all the way around. It was really quite incredible. The big thing for you was Starlink, mini Starlink. That turned up about 8 months before the start of the race. Yes. And you wanted to stream live at that point, but it was a bit. I did, yeah. So it was a bit tricky.
I thought it would be fantastic if we live streamed the MGR, and I think it would have given an insight to a lot more people who's trying to go into the little boats, and that people saw that vast majority of the time we are sailing through trade wind routes, shorts and t-shirts, and wonderful conditions, and super nice, interesting places that the route takes us. But unfortunately, it was not to be. But doesn't matter. We are doing it for the GGR, which is also going to be great. And I hope the next MGR, I hope it'll be live for people to see that what a fantastic event it is.
Yeah, the challenge there, we restrict the battery capacity to 200 amp hours, which is. But anyway, so you were just insane on the MGR. You were watching movies, calling your family, 10 times a day, keeping up with the sport. I mean, it was just try and just describe your Starlink experience sailing around the world in your little boat.
Well, even though most of us had around about 200 watts of solar panels, which is more than enough to run the Starlink, because once you're in the open ocean, you have no need for a VHF or AIS. We have a Ecomax, which informs us if there is anything dangerous nearby. I certainly don't use a chart plotter anyway. I just sail the boat on compass, and once, maybe twice a day, I'll turn the GPS on to see how many miles I have traveled. Or watch your program 8 o'clock or in the morning to see how many miles I have done, which you kindly informed us.
That was the tracker update, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watch that always, every morning, and really it gave me more than enough information for the following 24 hours. And having the Starlink allowed me to call anybody I wanted to. In fact, everyone I know actually were fed up that I had so much time that I could call them times. And they kept saying, haven't you got anything else to do? And really, when you're doing the MGR, you have a lot of free time, because, I mean, for example, when you leave Panama to go to Marquesas, it's quite a long distance. And around Galapagos, we were there for many days without much wind, so you have a lot of time in your hands. And once the trade wind came, you're very much doing your 120-mile days, and the boat is really doing all the work without you having to do anything, because the boat is going on roughly 270 degrees, and you put the hydrovane, and the boat just wanders towards its destination.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you do have a lot of free time on your hands, and having Starlink obviously does make a huge difference to keep up with everything, watch things, educate yourself, and it's a game changer, really.
Yeah. Okay. But it comes at a cost, I suppose. I think it wasn't mandatory, but anyone could have Starlink, and I think everyone bar one had
That's right.
Starlink on the race. Yeah, it was a game changer. It was quite amazing. So what's just in a few words, what do you think about the MGR? Like what was the highlight?
I would do it on a heartbeat tomorrow morning again. When I finished it, I would have happily continued if I had nothing else to do in life, because it is a wonderful event, and it actually suits to anyone from a teenager to a 90-year-old man. It is not demanding in the vast majority of the time physically, because the route is a very nice route. Yes, we all had interesting days, and we all had days where we were wondering what would happen, but most of the time those feelings were unnecessary, because we all made it to the other end. I think the worst one was when we left Mauritius for Durban, and every single boat goes to Richards Bay, including the gym palaces and the big yachts, and these little boats you decided should go directly to Durban, and everyone went against it, yet we all arrived safely into our destination. And that was, I think, a great moment of MGR. I think what MGR stood for is that we did things that others didn't do.
Yeah, we followed a fleet of rally guys, and it was a real ego collapser, or crushed their ego big time when they see all these little boats. Not only that, but I mean, yeah, the speed. I think the average speed around the world was about 132 miles a day or something, and some of them doing 150-mile days and things like that. It's crazy. Anyway, yep, this is about the GGR. So okay, so you sold the boat at the end. You got out of it. In fact, what happened to the TREKKA? Tell them the story of TREKKA.
Well,
at the end, and then we'll get on to it.
I think on my way to Brazil, a gentleman from China who lives in Canada decided to do the transit, and then we had a chat, and he'll be doing that. And today, actually, I moved it to a nearer location for him. I will see him this weekend on Saturday. We'll go training Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And he'll be doing the transit. So the TREKKA is ready to go.
Yeah, it's a great story. Hey, we don't see many Chinese into it, but this guy's right into it, so that's cool. Yeah. All right, so you're dreaming about this. Okay, just be warned, everyone. This next bit of the story is shocking. It's absolutely shocking. You've been dreaming about the GGR all the way around the world. You finish the race, you sell TREKKA, and you decide you're going to enter the GGR. And we spoke about it a bit on the way around. You said you were going to, but you wait until you finish. Just describe what happens next to get you into the GGR.
Well, it was very simple, really. I asked Arzu, in fact, many months before the end of MGR, Arzu even told our close friends that I would do the GGR, even though I hadn't fully committed myself, because I hadn't finished the MGR yet.
Yeah.
But, and she knew before me that this was going to happen, and the moment the race finished, and I knew the MATMUT was available for sale, because having a Starlink on board, you're up to date with everything going on and what is available, and this boat, I know from Graham Dalton time that it was professionally prepared for the 2022 race, and then he unfortunately had a health issue and was not able to participate on a boat that had a green card, and she was good to go. And then you very kindly inspected the boat before I made an offer for it, and it was fairly straightforward. And then once you said yes, and they agreed our offer, and a few days later we started work on MATMUT, which is now called MISS BEAGLE.
Yeah.
Davey and ours, and we came down and we started, and it's been non-stop since then.
Yeah, okay. Now the shocking bit. You don't have to tell what you bought it for, but what was it up for sale for? 90 grand or something, or 90 something?
Whatever. It's neither here or there.
Yeah, I mean, and then it was like an Aladdin's cave. Every time you opened a locker or went to their storeroom or something, everything's there. It's all brand new. I mean, it's
Well,
just amazing.
I had because it had two owners, and Graham Dalton bought whole new, brand new set of sails from Taro. And as you know, they are not on the value range; they are top end sail
Oh
makers.
yeah,
And also, Doug Dean also bought a sail as well. There is a lightweight sail. So there is just, I mean, there is still too many sails on board. I'm going to have to remove some of them. And so I was very lucky that I didn't have to purchase any sails at all.
yeah.
And most of the safety kit was good. All I had to do was service. Boat was pretty much ready, really, all intents and purposes, and all the additional electrical stuff we've been installing it, updating the boat with the all the necessary GGR requirements.
Yeah. So it was like, yeah, stunning situation. And then in general, would you say you spent about 6 weeks and it's pretty much ready to go?
It is, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, we worked really, really well. The first 2 weeks, Robin Davey came and helped me to do anything I cannot do, which is a lot.
Yeah.
And then recently, I had another friend came, Bob Litton. I've known him for many, many years, and you know we keep in touch every now and again. And I said to him that I'm having problems for some of the things that I need to get done, and he said he'd be happy to come down and help me. So he came to Les Abdelon and spent a week with me, and we were able to do the leftover jobs as well, and the mechanical issues and the new propeller was done by the Volvo dealer in Les Abdelon. So I've been very lucky that things have been moving well.
Yeah. So basically, you're sort of ready to go, and you know, there's a huge contrast. It very much reminds me of when Uku got ready for the 2018 edition.
18, yeah.
He bought a prepared boat,
Yeah.
literally spent hardly anything on it, put another wind vane on, and did the race and sold it at the end, and it cost him sort of nothing.
Well, yes, yeah.
It's
And
amazing.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
we haven't seen that boat on the race since then, because it also had an unfortunate incident that they was not able to start.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so so you're back in the game. How do you? I mean, obviously you're excited and you're keen. You probably just want to get going. But what's the difference now? Why did you decide that you had to come back and finally do the GGR properly?
Well, it's not so much that it is. It's more like, you know, every time you do these events, you learn more, and the whole way of looking at these races is very much different than it was 2022 or 2018.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of looking at how you prepare for these races.
Do you think your experience of the MGR, having sailed all the way around the world, has given you a perspective on the globe now? You know, like you say, oh, hang on a minute, that's the scope around. You know, okay, I got to do Southern Ocean, Cape Horn, and storms and stuff, but you know.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that the biggest challenge in GGR, which many people don't realize yet, and you obviously visualize isolation, and it is not really what you read in the books. It's you only know these things once you experience, not knowing what's happened to your family or your loved ones for weeks and months at a time, and those people, those individuals, they will all have different feelings when they are doing the GGR. And in my case, obviously, it's much harder for me. I always miss my wife a lot and my family a lot, and wondering what they were doing was a big problem for me, and I wanted to know that they were okay. Of course, they were okay. I'm obviously the weakling here. They are going to be okay if it wasn't to tell us about it. But obviously, you do want to know, and I guess as you do more of these events, you become more mentally prepared for it, perhaps. But it is not easy. People think that GGR is about sailing. It is not about sailing. I think it's all about, in my opinion, to be able to keep yourself happy enough to go around the world and do this, that you can enjoy it all the time. And for me, enjoying it is very much. And I mean, I've met many people who want to do GGR. If they have young kids, I say forget about it. And if you've got young children, forget about it. If they are lot of commitments. Forget about it. It's very difficult to do these events unless you are fully released from your all your responsibilities. Because if you have children, if you have children, then you miss them so very much. Nothing else becomes important. Because,
yeah. You reckon Arzu still really likes you? She seems to keep wanting to get rid of you all the time. You know.
Well, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do this.
Absolutely.
Because, as you know, since there is so much paperwork to be done and preparation of the GTR, she's been working really hard, apart from a whole other million other duties, to do all the fulfillment of the requirements of the notice of the race, and that is really, really hard. I mean, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do all this. I mean, it really is quite taxing.
Yeah, that organiser's a pain in the ass, eh? You know.
I mean, I can't really complain about it, because as soon as I complain, she tells me you signed for it, so shut up and get on with it. That's what I get told.
Yeah,
so
that's because Arzu and Jane keep talking between themselves. You see.
Yeah. So I can't really, I have to. To be honest with you, whatever it is, I have to do it and look forward to tomorrow. And
okay. So, a sideline issue, you've signed up more or less for the ROR, the Real Ocean Row. Are you going to be dreaming about the rowing while you're doing the GGR?
Well, as soon as I finish this adventure, of course, that's what I will have. I will want to do another adventure while I am fit and healthy. And of course, I would like to, there's lots of things I would like to do adventure-wise.
Yeah, I was having
do easy adventures.
I was having a chat with Elliot from 2022 the other day, and he's keen on ROR. There's a whole pile of people saying, "Oh, that'd be fun," And of course, they can't believe it. Said, "What? You're rowing too? What?" Anyway, that's life. Okay, so let's cut back to the GGR. You got a great boat. It seems to be well organised now. You've done your qualifier, all that sort of stuff. What are you looking forward to most? Is there something that one point or something that's the main draw card to get you in there, to keep it going?
Well, to be honest with you, all I'm looking forward to is for tomorrow and the next day, and then
So it's a journey rather than a.
I don't really make that. I mean, look what happened to Ertan. He was one of the best prepared people and one of the best prepared boats, and suddenly he rips his tendons, and so you can only dream of these things. I can't really say everything is going to be fine. We'll do our best to get there, and I am looking forward to the start of the race for sure. I am dreaming about it, and but I don't want to think too much of it, because because
for those that don't know the story of Ertan, he's the rower. He's got 14 world records for rowing, and he's a sailor. And the other day he was one of 6 that have retired from the GGR in the last 8 weeks, I think it is. He went out on a medical situation. He ripped the tendons off his foot, big operation, 3 months, can't do anything. So, and the start's earlier than that. So sadly, Ertan signed on for 2030. Christopher arrived here in his OE32, having completed his qualifier, but he was hoping for some money to come through, and his job list was, so he wasn't going to make it. So he's pulled the pin. Andrew Ritchie had a health issue, a bit of a health scare, got cleared by the doctor. Then there was personal reasons, and so he dropped it. Then poor old buddy Edward from Canada, he's had to pull the pin as well. He was here last year. I mean, you can read all about it. And then there was also the other Daniel from up north in another OE32. He pulled the pin. So we're back to 18 entrants at the moment. It's quite crazy, eh?
Well, to be honest with you, I think that Jane told me almost a year ago about the numbers that we would do, and she was right once again.
She got it right. I was thinking when we had about 27 entrants, I was thinking, I reckon we'll end up with 22. And Jane always kept saying 18, 18, 18. So there you go. But anyway, it's a good fleet, and we're feeling for the guys that didn't quite make it. The race to the start is really hectic. So anyway, we're a good-looking fleet, so that's good. All right, so it's a journey for you. It's day to day. You don't want to think too far. But when you're out there, what do you think is going to be the biggest challenge once it starts? What?
Well, obviously, I would like to, sail well, and MATMUT is a really nice boat, and and because it was Jean-Luc's boat, I can't really embarrass him too much. So I've got to try to do a little bit more than normal I would of my sailing. So I don't want to embarrass him. That so I will do my very best.
If you get onto his times, you better slow down a bit. Yeah, you don't want to go as you can't beat Jean-Luc. No way.
No, I don't mean by beating him, but
okay.
I don't want to be right at the very back, really, ideally, because
Yeah.
it's certainly a fast boat, and she goes really, really well, and he's been ever so good helping me out with lots of things, I would like to race the start, and I would like to get going with sailing, and I think that's what I really would like.
So
I missed it.
Yeah, no big change. You put another wind vane on, right?
I put a second one on there, and another big thing I did for the boat is I have got it used to have a fixed propeller, because the propeller that Jean-Luc had fell off the last couple of years ago, and then before the boat went for sale, they put a fixed, perhaps a temporary propeller, which was not suitable for the boat. So Volvo dealer in Les Abdelon and ordered me a new one under the guidance of Jean-Luc, and the same type of propeller, which is made in Italy, and they fitted that now, and she has zero drag now from the propeller, which is wonderful. And also, boat doesn't really have any holes on them except the engine and the sink. Everything has been flushed over, so she's quite a slippery boat.
Yeah. Okay, so you're looking pretty good. I've got the dreaded questions and word game here now. I'm going to throw some words at you just to change the subject, and you got to tell me what's the first thing that comes to mind when I throw it, right?
Sure.
Okay. Drogue.
Unnecessary.
Sponsors.
Unnecessary.
What about me?
Well, for you, different.
Excitement.
We need it.
Mother.
Necessary.
Impossible.
Maybe.
Calm.
Not needed.
Dreams.
All the time.
Southern Ocean.
Dream destination.
Luck.
We all need it.
Lonely.
A lot.
Inspiration.
Myself.
Work.
Love it.
Suhaili.
A legend.
Starlink.
Wonderful.
Money.
Necessary.
Loser.
Education.
Vendée Globe.
Fantastic.
Adventure.
Absolutely necessary.
Cape Horn.
A magical destination for people like us.
Food.
Necessary.
Albatross.
Beautiful.
Bowline.
Only not I know, I think.
Southern Ocean.
We've done the Southern Ocean, didn't we?
Oh, we did that. Oh, no, you did that. I thought I said it before. Okay, holidays.
We need it.
Panic.
Not really.
Fear.
Yes, of course.
Weather.
Lottery.
Books.
I wish I could read some more.
Family.
Absolutely necessary, wonderful.
That was very funny. You're the first one, I think, of all the ones we've done, and we've done a lot of them, that actually came with instant words. Most people are saying, "Oh, let me think about that," or they get tongue-tied. So you're a thinker. Anyway, that's cool. All right, now the telling moment. Pick a number between 1 to 10.
1.
1. Jeepers! I don't think anyone's ever picked that before. Has you ever thought about suicide?
Sure.
Yeah. I won't expand on that, but anyway. So I saw there was a girl called Kit, right, who attempted suicide. She was a young girl. She's a really amazing person. She recovered from that. She wasn't successful, and she was into drugs and stuff. And she just walked the whole length of Europe. It took her 360 days. She started right up the north and ended up in the tippy toes of Italy. And it was amazing. She was posting every day. So that's when I said, "Ever thought about suicide?" I have, but because of her, as in she was doing it for suicide prevention, which is amazing. But anyway, Okay. I could have asked if you had to pick number 2, so I'm going to ask that as well. What are your guilty pleasures?
Eating too many Nutella, I think. I'm a diabetic, so I eat too many sweet things, which is not really good for me, but I love it.
Okay. All right. Between 11 and 20.
12.
12. What was the oh, gee, you're getting all the good ones. Jeepers. What was the last time you cried and why?
It is too much information, I think.
Okay, so that's fair enough. You got the tricky one on the beginning. Anyway, we'll pick another number between 11 and 20.
13.
13. To date, what's the best thing you've ever done?
Well, what I am doing right now.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. All right, 21 to 30.
24.
24. What's your nickname and why?
I don't have a nickname.
Oh, you must have. Someone must have called you something.
Well, whatever you call behind me is all yours. It's okay.
Okay, that's cool. All right, 31 to 40.
35.
35. You're also picking numbers really quickly. Everyone else waits for, let me think about this. Okay, 35. Do you believe in karma?
Of course, I have to, because whatever happens, I try to forget about it, and I think the bad people should have their comeuppance eventually. So I do believe in that. Yes, at least I don't get angry about it.
Yeah. Okay. 41 to 48.
46.
46. What's your biggest fear and why?
Not knowing what happens to the loved ones would be my always biggest fear.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I get tricked on this. Okay. No, here it is. Right. Pick a letter. This is a tricky one. These are very obscure questions, right? Completely off the chart. Pick a letter between 1 and N. And I should warn you, because you're so good at answering questions and picking the things so quickly, you're going to get 2 questions. Okay. So
B.
B.
Yes.
Was B. Bravo. Right. Is cereal, breakfast cereal, is that soup?
No.
Why not?
Well, it's a breakfast cereal. It's not a soup.
But it's got the juice and it's got the hard bits,
I'm not going to argue with you. If you say it's a soup, I'll go.
Okay. Okay. Righty. I pick another letter between C and N.
D.
C.
D for Delta.
D for Delta. Why are manhole covers round?
I guess it's easier to remove them, perhaps.
It's fair. Oh, no, you could remove a square one the same. Maybe it's because the hole is round.
Perhaps. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's easier to dig, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah.
There must have some kind of engineering reason for it.
Actually, there was a tricky answer for that, and I forget what it is because I did too often. But anyway, okay. Well, that was very good, Ertan. We can now go back to the conversation. But it's funny, because we say it's good to break the conversation. There's still people watching for whatever reason, and but that was completely different. It does say a little bit about people, Yeah. So, all right. So, what are you going to eat, and what are you going to do for entertainment?
Well, after all these events, obviously your appetite changes and your wishes changes. And this time I've got awful lot of Marks and Spencer stuff, tin stuff, and I've also got a lot of ready foods in France as well. And this was one of the first jobs we did, so the boat was immediately filled with food for 8 months. And so I'm going to be eating a lot of tin food. I mean, I've got a dozen or two freeze dried, but only for absolute emergencies where I cannot get out of or sit up in the boat because of the bad weather. And then it's great to have a freeze dried to keep yourself warm and some energy in you. But I will be eating pastas and when the weather is nice, and when the weather isn't nice, I'll be eating a lot of tin food.
Yeah. Having done the MGR, living on board a little 19-footer for up to 40 days or something without getting off in the Pacific runs, just how did you cope with all that? Then I'll see the contrast with the GGR.
Well, because we were able to stop, and we knew that we were going to arrive at the destination 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks or whatever. we all had a sufficient amount of food, and we all had plenty of water. So this was not an issue, because when you arrived at the destination, you sort of bought more stuff and more fruits and so on. And I think, I've eaten freeze-dried food, I've eaten tin food, I had fresh food. So in the MGR, the food wasn't a huge issue, because we were able to stop quite frequently.
Yeah, and so
But more importantly, though, when we did stop for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever we lost, we gained during those stops. So
yeah,
you would eat like a horse the following week, or the following. I mean, we stopped a month in Fiji, almost a month in Panama. So there were long stops, and whatever we lost on the journeys, we gained back very quickly.
Yeah, so it was quite fun. We went down when you were on the Vendée Marina. Jane and I went down, and I don't know, we had lunch or something. I don't know. The boat is actually quite cool, eh? Inside, it's like luxurious, bordering on luxurious. It's actually really neat and tidy, and all the gear. The contrast there is like, wow. It's quite comfortable. How's your relationship with the boat at the moment? Like between you and the boat.
I mean, the moment I got in it, I felt very homely in it, because I had a Rustler before, and that wasn't an abused Rustler. It was a very homely Rustler, and this one isn't much different. And the boat was, very, very comfortable immediately.
Yeah. And Jean-Luc set it up with that full bulkhead with no hatch in it even. So if you want to go to the forecastle, you got to go on deck. And it's a bucket and chuck it routine. You don't have a toilet or anything like that, but that's you all over. You don't have a toilet anyway. So you're quite happy with everything there.
Yes, I mean, in the Lazy Otter, I had a bathroom, and a shower for that matter. But generally at sea, I prefer to do all that stuff outside.
Yeah. Okay, so that's cool. So now moving on to the next scenario, what are you looking forward to most about the GGR? Not after the start. You've started, you're sailing along. How are you going to feel when you leave Cape Town to port and keep going? What's going to be the fun bit?
Well, I think the fun bit will be to arriving to Hobart and see family members waiting to say hello. I think I will look forward to that very much, to get into Hobart as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Okay. And so your sleeping routine, how do you think you're going to manage that? What's your usual routine?
Well, I sleep day and night all the time, so I get a lot of sleep, because most of the time the sea state is wonderful, and so when it's available, I'll go and sleep. So I always have lots of sleep in me. I don't, as soon as there's little to do, if I've done all my jobs and duties, I'll go to sleep immediately.
Yeah, I get the impression that having done the MGR, it sort of changed your perspective a little bit. That's my opinion. You're a man of the sea now. You've seen a lot of different things. Not that you weren't before, but it must have an impression. So that it's going to be very interesting to watch what happens. But do you really think that you're completely committed to get to the finish line? Like, has that become a thing?
More so than ever before.
Yeah.
And I really would like to come to the end, but nothing is ever guaranteed in this world. On the 2018, one big storm came from 2 different directions and took several boats out. So nobody should assume that the finish is guaranteed.
Yeah, that's right.
And even those who has finished had some very tough times last time, 2022, and so nothing is guaranteed on the GGR. And I think because of these reasons, GGR is so attractive to me, because there is so many unknowns in the GGR, and no one should assume that it is a sailing race. It is lots of things, including the sailing, but it's a lots of things.
Yeah. Okay. So leading on from that, the position you're in, you've had a lot of different experience. What would be your advice? Well, in fact, with both of them, what's your advice to someone who's thinking about the MGR, and then the advice that someone's thinking about the GGR, as in advice or directions? What would you say to each one of those?
Well, first of all, they shouldn't think about it too much. They should just start it immediately, see how far they get. And they shouldn't think of the end. They should only begin to think about the start. And once you start a lot of businesses, you'll see whether it suits you or not, but at least that you can tell yourself you've tried, so you must try. And it's actually far, far easier than people imagine to be. And that's a fact. And so those who are thinking about the MGR, I will do it tomorrow morning again. And we know some people, well-known people, thinking about doing the MGR. It's a wonderful event. GGR is a bit more serious. There is a lot more commitment needed for the GGR. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's quite an extraordinary event. I think once you do it once, I think you'll want to do it again.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying. Is I listen to what you're saying there, and I think what you're saying is don't overthink it too much,
No.
because we see some people, at the end of the day, Simon Kerwin was the classic example. Now, I don't want to understate what he did or how he did it, but he simply didn't overthink it. It was a simple sailboat that was well prepared, not over prepared, with good sails, and he went sailing. And he just went sailing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He didn't come back, just kept going. Because sometimes you can let it all get too much and you forget about sea time and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I think you're right. You don't want to overthink it. If you want to do it, you got to, you lose your sleep over it. There's time to think about, maybe joining and stuff. We've got about 13 or so, or 14 now signed up for 2030 already. Okay, so it's a family affair. You've got the full family support. What would you say to? No, hang on, I'm losing the train of thought there. Keep it simple. Anything you want to say to your followers? Because we did have 2 Turks in the race. Now we've only got 1.
Yes, I was really, really, really disappointed and very upset what happened to Ertan. And I only spoken to again the other day. I keep in touch with him, and I still can't believe that he won't be starting with us. And I was really looking forward for him. And in fact, mentally, he's a perfect person for GGR. He really is. And I always thought he was one of these people. He would eventually finish the GGR somehow.
Yeah.
So I was very upset that he didn't. Yeah. He's not starting with us. But it's life, this happens. But he's a very pragmatic person. He's already planning for the to 2030. He's already thinking about doing the some of the jobs that he wants to do straight away, during this year. So he's already on it and pressing on to 2030, which I guess is a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Okay, and finally, so how would you rate your present situation? Are you 95% prepared, 99%, or 80%? Have you got a lot of work to do? And because you're not coming back here for a while, eh?
3rd of August I'm coming because I've got my refresher medical course, and this weekend I am on TREKKA training the new owner who's going to do the Transat, and then he's going to do his qualifier afterwards. So I'm going to be occupied for that for the next week or so, and then I'm going to, once he's finished with it, I will put TREKKA on the trailer, and obviously it's going to be organized to go to Lagos for the start of the race. For the next 2 weeks I'll be quite busy, and then we are already looking at towards the end of July. Then I'll do my medical course, and the 3rd of August I return. On 5th of August the MISS BEAGLE goes out of the water for 3 days.
Well, we lost him. You're back again now. We lost you then.
Put it back in the water as quickly as possible, do a few more days of sailing, and just get everything ready, just fine-tune it really. The boat is ready, I'm ready. We just want to fine-tune everything to make sure that there is no hiccups once we leave,
Yeah, okay. We've got quite a few comments here now. I'll just say there's some proud people there passing comment from Madge and Bobby, Bill Tong, and a few Madge again, looking for any questions. Everyone's given you a big thumbs up. Simona, why did you sell your first boat? Why did you sell your first boat after GGR 2022? You hadn't planned to be in GGR 2026?
Yes, but I need to be able to finance these things, so I sold the boat so that I can finance the MGR.
Oh, we're starting to lose you.
MGR is equally as expensive as a GGR, or for someone like me.
Yeah. Okay, Jeremy's there, and also Mara's there. I thought you were gone, Mara. Oh no, you didn't. That's right. Mara's been trying to get her rig sorted and take off. She's still got about another 500 miles to do, and she's desperate or very keen to get out there. So she's going to the island off
Guernsey.
Go to Jersey or whatever.
But to pick up her,
come back. That'll give her 500 miles. So. No, forget that.
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, you're back again.
Yes,
You're back again.
Maybe it's your Starlink, Don.
It could be. Yeah, I use mini Starlink here. That's the feed from the house. I just had some pictures here as well of the boat. There it is, MATMUT.
No, that is Lazy Otter.
Oh, it's Lazy Otter. Yeah, that's it too. Yeah, that's the first one.
That is with Par at the moment.
Yeah. Okay. And
that's MATMUT with Robin Davey.
Yeah, right. When you bought it, that was the deal of the century. Pick it up, fill it full of fuel and water, and let's go.
Well, yes.
I feel sorry for.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the entrants that have taken 3 years to get their boat ready to go sailing. But that's life. That's how it works. But nice boats. Oh, there's a little TREKKA. Actually, that just remind me. That's the front cover of the book on the MGR. Oh, you're going to be immortalised with Graham Cox's book.
Well, TREKKA will be immortalised, not me. We come and go.
Oh, no, you're all through it. It's a sailor's book. We're trying to get it up for September. Put it on. So if you're interested in the MGR, there's an amazing book coming out by Graham, and I'm going to drop a bombshell here. There's a few people there, but Graham's actually going to write the GGR book. I haven't told anyone yet. He won't mind. I don't think he'll be there, but he's going to write the history of the GGR book, which is 68, 18, 22, and this one, 26. So there's a first for you all. He's a great guy. Known him for a long, long time. Did some great stuff with the MGR. So stand by. There's going to be a big, big, big GGR book coming out one day. So that'll be fun. And there she is. Whoa, wacko. Yep, there's little TREKKA. So, okay. Well, that was great, Ertan. Thanks for that. That was 2018, wasn't it?
Yeah, 22 with Ertan and Tolga Pamir, who is also.
Oh, okay. That was because he was there watching in 22 because he was thinking of doing it. Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
That's true. Jane picked them. There's Arzu.
There's the boss. I lost you again, Don. Maybe I think you've been on too much.
And you're back again.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to wave goodbye. Thank you, Ertan.
All right, take care, and I hope to see you soon. And
as usual, all good fun. So stay cool there.
I look forward to seeing you.
I got the fan pushing me here, so keep me cool. Yeah, Explorer's got the motor. She should be sailing. We're going to sail it back here. Oh, I'll tell you another funny one. Everyone that's still there, we got a few people still there. Here's another breaking news. We've Explorer, which is our Swan 57, which we put in the Ocean Globe race, is going to be on the marina, and it's going to be sort of a stage. It's by the balcony and walkway there, the promenade on the thingo. And it looks like Jean-Luc's going to be playing in the band, and he might be playing on the deck of Explorer.
Wonderful.
So people will be watching from the thing. It'll be like the Beatles on the rooftop of the places in England, So stand by for that. It's a rumour.
No one should miss that. So anybody thinking of coming to Les Sables, they must. It'll be a sight to be seen.
Yeah. So Explorer will be there anyway. So that'll be a bit of fun. Okay. Thanks, Ertan. Bugger off. I'll see you later.
Right. Ciao.
Okay. Bye-bye. Oh, that was fun. Anyway, as usual. Yeah, so stand by and keep an eye out for MATMUT, but it's not called MATMUT anymore. He's named it after his dog. I've forgotten the name of the boat. Oh, I could have brought that up. So it's not MATMUT. It's another name. It's a beagle.
It's the beagle.
Miss Beagle, because Ertan and Azu absolutely love dogs. So that's the name of the boat. Okay, I'll put that there and I'll disappear and we'll see you again. I forget when the next one was. We've had a few that didn't come up. We didn't have any last week, and I think we're getting close to just about everyone done. So there you go. We'll see how it goes and maybe back next week, and then we'll be doing a lot of other things. Huge amount of stuff going on here at the moment. Everyone's absolutely flat out. We had a big meeting with Les Sables d'Olonne again today, looking very exciting. They're supporting us really well. Yeah, everyone's busy, Georgie and Rob and so on. So anyway, we'll see you again later on. See you later.